Hey guys, look at this. It's back. We're back. This is the one and only You, Me, and BTC podcast. Finally, I'm milking this for all it's worth. I'm calling this a reunion show because we should have played it up more, like we broke up and then all this stuff. But finally, we're back together. Whether that maybe that's not even a good thing because that means Tim's here and screw Tim. But I am Daniel Brown, and I'm here with
Tim.
And Zack.
Yeah, guys, it's been a while, but we're here. I've not listened to the past 2 weeks of shows. I apologize for anything that may have happened the past 2 weeks. It probably sucked, and well, that's that. But I'm here. I'm here to bring it all together again. Hopefully, we got actually some great stuff this week. Zack actually did some real journalism and attended this Bitcoin hearing, which is pretty freaking legit. So we'll get into that.
And it backfired on me.
Oh yeah, got some great picks. It's amazing. That's coming up momentarily. The only thing I want to do first is remind you the place to be tonight. It's you, me, and btc.com/live. I'll go ahead and flip on my screen share so you can get a nice little preview of what's about to what's gonna
transpire.
Whatever. What you're gonna see here.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for one word.
Fuck, that was amazing.
So here's what's gonna perspire. Okay, this is the video. Video chat show notes with a couple links to the stories we're going to cover. Like I said, we'll cover that hearing. Also, Bitcoin volatility. Interesting stats there, interesting chart. And we'll cover that later in the show. All of this is at you, me, and btc.com/live as it is every week. At the bottom, you also got our poll. If you want to tell us whether you think low Bitcoin volatility is good or bad or other, that you can just drop a vote right there and let us know what you think. I'll
mention above that poll, you'll see tips appreciated. Please send us all your Bitcoins, and by us we mean Daniel. It would be greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated. I also should just mention, which I did in the show notes, but I'm just going to say that the last 2 episodes are YouTube only. We should have milked that too. We should have been like, YouTube exclusive. You can't get this anywhere else. But because we're just lazy and I'd never trained Tim how to do it on the website.
I think I did say that or something to that effect as far as it being a special live show where you're going to have to wait.
That's a good lesson, kids, though. Anytime stuff goes wrong, anytime you're being lazy, anytime things are a little different than normal, just chalk that up as a marketing move and see how eyeballs you can grab from it. So
this is the new thing. This is why we're making this difficult on you.
This is the special for just you this week. Tim all alone, only on YouTube.
Why did this turn into a cam show so quickly?
Tim after hours on YouTube.
Hello, how are we all doing tonight? Actually, this is the first day this week that my voice has even been usable. The whole rest of the week, coming back from Daniel's stupid wedding, I walked into the Chicago airport and was immediately sneezed on. And then this past weekend, it got worse to the point where I was just like, hello, how are you? How are you people doing today? Like, I'm talking to clients where they're just like, oh, it sure is raining a lot outside. Yeah, it kind of is. But so yeah, you guys are very blessed to have my normal voice back. This is actually the only way I, as a man, deepen my voice just by getting sick, and then I come back and it's a couple octaves lower. I started out pretty high before all this.
You should try meditation like this. Just a good old.
Dude, is that your mantra too? What, we have the same thing? That's so crazy,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah. Great minds think alike, and so do Tim and I. Hey, one more time, the place to be, you, me, and btc.com/live. Jump in the chat. We'll read anything you put there. Even if you're like a freaking communist manifesto bot, we'll still read some of that. So get in there. And I'll turn it over to Zack here to just spill the beans. Like, what the heck happened this morning? I saw a ton of headlines just, you know, ripping on Bitcoin, like the greatest scam in history, the mother of all scams, and that kind of stuff. So what, did Bitcoin get demolished at the Senate hearing this morning?
Yeah, so there was a hearing between, well, there was a hearing for the Senate Banking Committee, Banking and Urban Affairs and something about
Yeah, wait,
cryptocurrency.
hang on. I've got that in the show notes here. It made me laugh. The title of this committee: Banking, Housing, and Community Affairs. Like, okay, so everything. What is that?
So
It's like
we're
a
gonna
mix
be
of a
talking about every
yeah, it's
that
just
was
a mix
bad.
of a bunch of different things. But it was there. So there were only two. Like generally, there's a panel of witnesses, expert witnesses. This time there were only two: Peter Van Valkenburgh of the Coin Center and Nouriel Roubini, infamous no coiner, and they were both testifying their hearts out for and against Bitcoin. And Nouriel was like, blockchain is the most hyped technology ever, and it has zero value at all. And he was like, he hates everything crypto related, so that was not surprising. I attended because I was in the area, and I took a new job recently for this crypto firm in New York, and I was texting them like, "Hey, I'm here. You guys want me to go to the hearing and live tweet and just like draw some more attention to it?" They said, "Sure." So I went. But so the hearing was good. The testimonies were fine. Nouriel was idiotic, and Peter was great as always. A lot of the committee members were missing, so it was actually a pretty short hearing. I wanted it to go longer. I feel like I didn't get my money's worth. But afterward, well, yeah, after the hearing, I was live tweeting it, so I really only had Twitter open, and I got all these messages afterwards that I saw with like screenshots of people watching the live stream, and they're like, "Haha, bro, I think I saw you on like C-SPAN." I was like, "What?" Because so I was sitting right behind, not right behind. I was sitting like in camera shot, unbeknownst to me, of Nouriel. And so every time he would speak, the C-SPAN camera would focus on him, and I'll be right there over his left shoulder. And I was thinking the whole time, like in like deep thought and tweeting and like considering everything that was said and asked. But it looks like I just hated his guts, just like vicious death stare written all over my face.
Oh,
And
Zach was looking on the way I look at my father. It's just like, how dare you? You do, please, no. Yeah, no, Daniel didn't notice it at first. I saw it, and at first I was like, wait, no, that's just the guy that looked like Zach, because Zach looks like he's going to kill everybody in this courtroom. But no, he was I do realize now that is just Zach's focus face. He was just getting amped up and ready to just report this back to us. So please, sir, if you did see that picture, Zach means you no harm. He's pretty mellow normally. He's definitely mellow now.
Yeah, hey, we got
Can't do much to you right now.
I gotta
Yeah,
share this real quick. It took me a minute to get the right picture up and get
yeah,
zoomed in and stuff.
I'm very mellow now. I have a nice beverage in front of me. I didn't want to hurt anyone then. Yeah, it's
Here we go. This is the one, and then I'm gonna scroll down a bit because, well, first of
Oh my
all, for
God.
you, for anyone listening, just go. I'm not gonna figure this out for you. Just go find it on Twitter if you're that interested, or and learn your lesson next time. Come join us live. Watch the video. But anyway, so this is. I will read some for you. Messari Crypto says, apparently Zack Vol has heard it all before because he's just got this eye-rolled death stare. And then somebody, Brian Cohen, did he make this image?
Yeah, he did.
Oh man, how many followers does he have? 5,000?
He's been around for forever.
I know. That's what I thought he had even more than that because anyway, I thought he was like way more famous than 5,000 followers, and I was gonna be like, holy crap! If you're getting tweets, if this guy is going out of his way to draw art on Zack Vol, Zack must be pretty important. And I mean, Zack is pretty important. especially with this show, he talks to way more important people than we do. So yeah, go look up the Coin Pod and follow Zack's show. I looked just today. I saw the number 37. I was like, holy crap, we're already 37 episodes into this, and it's all good stuff. So
it's insane.
Yeah, go find that. Zack's carrying us right now because he's got the real guests with the real Bitcoin chatter. So then there's one more down here from, oh, I don't know, maybe you made this one, Zack. Oh no, you're in for a treat. And yeah, more death stare lasers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good stuff. It made me chuckle aplenty. So
Ew.
ew.
Yeah, so it was it was chuckle aplenty. It was a wild. I didn't want to be a meme. There's this fucking fly, and I'm so sick of it.
67 likes on this one. What else we got here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I did say I texted Zack. Yeah, and someone else here says huge missed opportunity with a picture of the buy Bitcoin sign. I texted Zack the same thing. Like, why didn't you? Where was your buy Bitcoin sign?
Yeah, I was like 4 people, you being one of them, was like, huge missed opportunity. You should have held up a sign. Like, where was your sign? Like, why didn't you redo the Bitcoin sign guy? I didn't want to be that derivative, I guess. But really, I was just like too focused on live tweeting the thing. I honestly didn't. I thought so. I saw like people taking photographs before this hearing started. I was like, and they were angling the cameras away and stuff. I was like, dope. Maybe my seat selection is fine. I'm not going to be in their shot, but here I am, or there I was. So it is what it is. Now I'm a meme.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find. My boss tweeted. I want to try and share this picture. My boss. So Masari is the company I work for now, and my boss tweeted something out about. There it is. About this, because in our Slack channel they were all tossing photos in there, and now I can screen share. And he was like, can you see this? Yes. Our newest research hire may become a meme, and I'm totally okay with that. Crypto charlatans beware, Zack Vol is watching you. And then we went to the one you saw before. This one, so Chunk is just some sort of anonymous crypto Twitter user who's excellent at memes, and he made this one.
Hold on, violence now, guys. The EU would ban all this shit.
Click view original. Oh, geez. I need you to view original and zoom in on that. I got to see this, or drop a link in the chat or something.
Okay. I'll drop a link in the chat. And then, yeah.
What the heck? Is his head just all fire?
Yeah, it's blowing up.
Yeah, my laser eyes killed him.
It goes boom.
Nice.
So yeah, all you have to do is I collected them all for you here conveniently on my homepage.
So hey, while you're there, how many followers are you up to anyway?
Bitcoin
oh my
Bella,
gosh, she made one. Too. Was that her?
Yeah.
What did that say?
Yeah.
LOL.
Spooky Bella.
LOL.
What was in that? Oh, yeah, exactly. I told you should have done that, man.
Yeah.
Next time.
Just imagine how rich we would all be right now if I just held up the YMB tip jar QR code.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well.
How much money did he make? We got to look that up, and then you're going to owe me that much money.
He got at least like 10 Bitcoins, I think. I don't know.
Are you serious?
He got a lot, yeah.
He said, buy BTC, hold up a sign. Cody Wilson did nothing wrong, and then you can start a whole big shit show on there.
Is it too late to like Photoshop that sign onto that image and see if people will donate then?
Hopefully, I hope so.
Yeah, no, get somebody to Photoshop it in. They'll be like, this isn't the original one. It's be a rare Zack Vols.
I guess though, what Janet Yellen is a little more, interesting and ironic figure to have that sign next to, but still.
Can somebody Photoshop Zack into like old world leaders pictures, like have Hitler talking and then Zack just like, what the fuck are you talking? Have him just doing it with Mao and shit like that.
Yeah, you could cut out Zach's head and put it into all kinds of stuff. Like
I don't want to be a meme though.
yeah, you
I want
do.
this.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
trust
else?
me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
So
Trust
I'm
me.
at almost 4,000 followers. So I've said before on the show, I love nothing more than followers. Like I love followers. So that's the only thing that matters to me. Please follow me. My content is pretty bad, but I just need followers to live. So I have uh almost 4,000. I'm about like 80 followers away from 4,000.
Nice. So yeah, Zach, like I said, carrying the show, way more followers than anyone else, and literally crushing it. So kudos there. Hey, I wanna have some fun here. Speaking of Zach and his show, I think, and speaking of this, what's this guy's name? Nabini, Shukini,
Nouriel
Shariri?
Nouriel Roubini.
All right, Taco Cat, got it. So Taco Cat is such a Bitcoin hater, and I think my proposal is to Zach that he should have on his show maybe like a monthly special episode where instead of interviewing like maximalists or semi-maximalists or whatever, you should just straight interview no coiners. Like the most famous no coiner. Like you start small because you get who you can get. But the more people, eventually you'll get this freaking Taco Cat Nabini guy, and then eventually you'll get I don't even know, like freaking, like I said, Janet Yellen. Like maybe one day you'll have her on the show, because I
Hey
think
Janet,
of like,
why do you hate Bitcoin?
yeah, exactly. If you start small and just gradually try to grab the biggest no coiners you can think of, I think you can get there. I think you can make it happen. I think it'll be funny. I think of like John Oliver. I mean, obviously he's way more famous and he can get anyone he wants. But he does hilarious skits, not skits, interviews with real important people, and it's like it's funny. Like Ed Snowden, like John Oliver and Ed went to Russia to talk to Ed Snowden, and the whole time they were making jokes about pictures of their junk, like, oh, if I was sending this picture over the internet of my junk, would the NSA be able to see it? And it was hilarious. I picture that for the Coin Pod. Special episodes monthly starting next week.
I honestly,
Boo.
no, I'm a big fan of that idea. I do have an announcement so Dan abandoned us. Tim knows already, but Dan abandoned us. So this is a re-announcement.
Preach,
This
brother.
week, this this week, the Coin Pod is in the middle of a week-long series where every day we're releasing an episode with a team building on Lightning. So it's been pretty awesome. We have 5 teams and a special bonus episode coming out on Saturday.
Man.
I lied, 6-1. But after this week, the Coin Pod is going on hiatus for the rest of 2018 because I have some writing I need to do.
Right.
What?
For this monthly no coiner special.
Yes, exactly. So I'm going to get Taco Cat Roubini on the show and we'll ask him why he hates Bitcoin. But so in 2019, I think, because I love having people on the show that like I don't always agree with, and I disagree with people, especially no coiners, a lot. So why not have them on the show? I like that idea. I'm down.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, guys. If Zach doesn't do it, you can all hold him accountable, and I'll fire him.
Yeah.
So he'll take his 4,000 followers and probably beat us. So anyway.
Don't give up morale right at the beginning, Daniel. Jesus, you need to like keep something together. Fuck you, Zach. I'm gonna turn on everybody right now. No, just fuck you. No, just don't turn into John Oliver. If you do that, I will come after you like you look like you're going
Wait,
to.
Do you actually dislike him?
I hate John Oliver.
I think he's hilarious. Okay.
No, you think he's hilarious because he has a British accent. You're like, oh, listen to him talk all funny and shit.
No, that doesn't have anything to do with it. I totally disagree. I've said this on the show before, I think, because I've mentioned him before. I disagree with all of his politics and all of his conclusions, but the show itself I think is hilarious. The jokes are funny, and that's So it's still worth watching to me. His conclusion is always just like, so we need more regulation. We need more money to spend on freaking whatever. Like, oh, predatory lending. This should not be allowed. It's like, fine, like whatever. But, and the list goes on and on. Every little topic you could think of. He's like, we need to make sure this is regulated right, or give more money, or anyway. Disagree with all of his conclusions. Still think his jokes are hilarious. That's about all I got.
It's late night show bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not into talk shows much. I think it's just all nonsense. Like some of the bits are funny, but I'm not super into them.
All right. Hey, before we move on, I do want to pull a little more out of like the content here. I know you said it was a short hearing, Zach, but like, what were some of the points and like arguments, like, and some of the back and forth? I don't know what the format was, but like, what was actually some of the content in this debate, discussion, hearing, whatever?
Yeah. So one thing I guess that's like particularly relevant now, I mean, it's always been, I guess, but is mining centralization. Some of the senators were asking Peter and Nouriel what they thought about mining being centralized in China and whatever. And Nouriel was like, they're going to leverage blockchain to destroy the U.S. and for their own evil, nefarious purposes and whatnot. But a couple of senators asked, like, is mining centralization inherent to like Bitcoin and stuff, which is a valid question because like mining's, I mean, a lot more centralized than it used to be. I mean, I guess at first it was only Satoshi mining, so that's pretty centralized. But then like it got more decentralized, and now we have big mining farms and stuff, and people think it's super centralized. It's all like centralization is always relative. So like one person's decentralized is the next guy's centralized, and it's always relative. But they asked if centralization was inherent to mining, and I took exception to that. Some of the Bitcoiners on Twitter agreed, yeah, it's inherent. I think there's a tendency towards mining centralization, obviously, but I don't think it's inherent at all. I think there's plenty of smart people working to decentralize it.
Yeah, that is a very, very, a discussion worth having, because that is definitely something that is different than it used to be, at the very least. Good, bad is a big argument, but at the very least, I think everyone could agree that it's different than it used to be with the introduction of ASICs. So originally, and again, it's a huge discussion about Satoshi's original vision, but still, originally, it was supposed to be one CPU was one vote. And now a CPU is worthless when it comes to Bitcoin mining, and you need an ASIC instead. So, yeah, that's totally a discussion worth having. Like, I can't mine unless I drop at least a couple $100. And even then, like, okay, and I mean, there are some solutions that try to let you mine a little bit with your computer, or even like your phone. And 21 Inc. Was supposed to have miners everywhere for a while in your freaking toaster or whatever. And okay, that could help, but still, it's still a very real question. Like, what should we be concerned if so few people have so much of the mining power? And again, that's a whole discussion. When I don't have all the answers, I'm just saying that's a really good point, something worth thinking about and talking about. So I mean, at least it came up in a hearing.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. It's hard. Like, yeah, I think I don't know. It's obvious like mining tech is advancing, but I don't think I think I think it's sort of gotten as centralized as it probably will ever get, because I mean, I don't think Bitmain's going to last like more than a few years unless they do something crazy. They're holding so much Bcash,
Didn't they
And
just open up some
there's so
kind
much.
of? Did they do an ICO or some kind of funding
They're
round?
trying to. Yeah, they're trying to IPO, but it's
Oh,
not
IPO.
going
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
great right now. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
I don't
Like
know.
with any company, anywhere, anytime. Like no matter how well you do something, there's going to be you might hold a monopoly ish for a while, and then someone else might come along and do the same thing better. So it's you know the only thing that might be able to keep Bitmain on top is intellectual property, which I know they tried to do with what's that called, ASIC boost, whatever that trick is that
Yeah.
helps mining. I know there's some intellectual property involved there, but in general, like anyone can make a really fast miner and copy ideas from existing miners and stuff. And so if it really is, if Bitmain really does have a monopoly, which is possible, then by definition, and this is the classic argument with the free market and monopolies. By definition, if it's really so profitable, then other people will start doing the same thing. Not really, that's not by definition. That's just kind of like a logical following. And so, yeah, they might that's the classic free market example is, oh, they might have a monopoly for a while, but then other people will come in and other companies and private business and we'll break it up. And maybe we'll see that. I hope we see that, of course. I would love to, Uber breaking up taxis, that kind of classic situation. Not that Uber is the greatest for various reasons, but I would love to see that kind of situation. But I don't know what it just plain remains to be seen. So
Yeah. If you
we
wanna
shall
like
see.
if you're worried about mining centralization, just download Honey Miner or Nice Hash or something like that and
Yeah,
mine on your computer. Like you can help decentralize mining on your little PC at home, and it's not an ASIC or anything, but you'll get a few hundred, few thousand satoshis every week or so, and you'll be good to go. You're actively decentralizing mining, so try that.
do it. Yeah, I mean it can't hurt. Or and consider an ASIC. I mean, they're kind of supposed to be. We've talked about this a couple times ages ago on the show. ASICs are for the same reason, as a monopoly. Supposing like if you really have a monopoly, it'll gradually go away because if it's profitable, other people will do it. For the same reason, mining really can't be too much better than break even. I mean, because if it really was that profitable, then other people would start mining and then it wouldn't be as profitable. That's the way mining is designed. It's designed to get more difficult as more people do it. So,
Yeah.
all that to say, consider getting a miner and don't worry too much about the profit. Just be happy with break even and contributing to the network and contributing your vote to the whole governance ecosystem. Yeah, grab an ASIC, a couple $100, and let it sit there for weeks, months, years, and just even if you never make money, the idea of participating and learning how things work is incredibly valuable.
But I thought I
Try
was
it out.
supposed to get free money. I thought I was supposed to get free internet money.
Yeah,
I
Max.
want free money. I want free
What
money.
about free money? It doesn't even make sense. I bought all these things. All these people are buying all the GPU cards and just driving up the cost of everything.
I
Quit
Tim
being selfish, you fucks. Spend a little bit of money.
Tim thinks he's making fun of whiny people, but the fact is that is him, and that was
Yeah.
us because we went through this whole minor situation. Where's our free money? So, and we've
No,
told
but I
that story
learned.
100 times. So,
I've developed kind of as a person.
in fact, I believe episode 1, literally episode 1, I believe, was called Bitcoin Ethics and a Miner Story. And we told our story as miners, like, oh, we tried all this stuff and this is what happened. I think that's 1 or 2, something like that. So we've been there. We know how it works. We know it's a struggle. It might not be profitable, but like I said, I'll reiterate, it is incredibly, incredibly valuable to participate in something you love and learn how it works, learn why it works, and what maybe even what doesn't work, and learn that too. The same way we learned that mining isn't going to make you filthy rich. Learn it. It's great. It's good stuff. So, all right.
then
Anything
donate
else?
the coins, donate the
Yeah,
coins that you mine
of
to
course.
Yumi and BTC. Obviously,
Give
what
them
else would
to
you
them.
do with them?
Yeah, that goes without saying, of course. Anything else, Zach? Any other big points or topics that they covered that we should cover before we move on?
He talked about how, I mean, one big topic of conversation was how there is obviously a lot of scams in this space. I mean, we talked about this all the time on the show, but people love to lump in Bitcoin with all the scams, and obviously that's bad. But I think
Yeah.
some of the senators were like pretty attuned to the fact that Bitcoin is different than just like your run of the mill shitty scam ICO, which is encouraging. Like, I mean, I know Dan and Tim are anarchists. I don't like big government either, but it's like it's good to see them at least understand Bitcoin is different. And that's what Peter sort of said a couple different times in different ways during his statements and answers and stuff. But yeah, the scams were obviously a big topic of conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point. That I mean, obviously, this has been obvious to us for a while, but I like the way you put it there. Just to that Bitcoin, yeah, like there are a ton of scams out there. We've talked about ICOs 100 times, more than that, hundreds of times on this show. Of course, there are scams everywhere in crypto, but Bitcoin is like, without a doubt, like the least scammiest of them all. Like Bitcoin
Yeah.
promises nothing, no reward, no. Well, I mean, there are people out there that hype Bitcoin maybe way more than they should. I remember getting on them like, it's kind of ironic because this was before the Bitcoin price really did explode, and this was like maybe around $1,000. I was on people like, okay, guys, really, and this is I should find the episode and see what I really said, because it's on the show somewhere. It's back there recorded. I was saying like, seriously, guys, $5,000. Like, even if that's true, just like you're overhyping it. We don't want to sound scammy. Like, calm down. Like, even if that's true this year, I don't care. Like, just calm down. And all of a sudden it's like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. It's like, well, okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that to say that Bitcoin, yeah, there are some people out there that hype it in the wrong ways, but Bitcoin is without a doubt the least scammiest of all these projects, ICOs, tokens, whatever. And that's great. I mean, if we love crypto but we're worried about the scams, then let's go for the least scammiest crypto. I mean, it's not saying a ton because there are some big scams out there, so the least scammiest might not say a ton, but it's a start. It's like, okay, this is where we're going to start. We're going to look at Bitcoin, see what it's all about, because it is the least scammiest of whatever this crypto stuff is. So let's look at Bitcoin, figure it out, see what it is, and then obviously you end up where the three of us are, where we love it and we hopefully correctly we see why it's valuable and it's not a scam and all that. But it's a starting point. Anything else, Zach?
No, that's pretty much it. I'm a meme now, so follow me on Twitter because I'm important.
At Zack Vol. I always laugh at Tim's shows. Tim, bless his heart, likes to promote us on his shows. Thank you for that, Tim.
You can shut the fuck up. Is
But
what you
every
can do.
time
Don't.
he,
I already said this. It doesn't count anymore.
he tries to spell Zach's Twitter handle, and like half the time he's like Zack Vol, Zach. It's definitely Zach. I looked it up this time. Nope, it's actually Zack, but whatever. So
People
anyway,
misspell my name. People misspell my name all the time. And Zach isn't even my full. It's just my full name is just a pain in the ass to spell too. So who cares? People misspell it all the time.
Zack Vol, Zack, Voell.
What?
What,
No,
Tim?
I'm saying it is Zachary though, right?
No, my full name is Zechariah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, even harder to spell, but whatever.
Zack Vol with a K, Voell, not like the animal, which I'm pretty sure Tim has also said Vol like an animal, and then just like sprinted on to
I have
whatever
not said that. I never thought it was VOLE.
I don't
It's never
know.
that bad.
That's what people ask. They're like, "Oh, so it's like mole? Oh, like vole, like the little animal." Like, "Oh, yeah."
And then Zach gives him that look that he has in the picture. He's okay.
Yeah.
Say it
You
one
like
more
that
time, you
stare.
fucker.
Oh man. Okay, well, hey, we will move on then. I'll drop a couple real quick reminders. The first of all, as every week, the place to be is you, me, and btc.com/live. That'll get you to the landing page, video, chat. Jump in the chat if you like. We'll pretty much read anything you say on the air and have a laugh. Show notes, links, and tipping address and voting at the very bottom. Let us know what you think about Bitcoin volatility, which is our very next topic. So, oh, and then the other reminder is, hey, shoot me an email, Daniel at btc.com. If you have any remote interest in sponsoring us. Like I said, Zack's been crushing it lately, and great guests, thousands of downloads. We can, we're looking for sponsors. So jump in anytime, shoot me an email, we'll make it happen, and it'll be fun. So that's my sponsorship. Today's show is brought to you by you, me, and BTC, the greatest crypto show on the planet. If you'd like to sponsor them, email Daniel at you, me, and BTC.com. There we go. That's
Daniel definitely has the best podcast voice out of all of us.
Fuck you, Zach.
Fuck you, Tim.
Jeez. All right, guys. So the volatility. So the reason I like instantly hooked onto this story when I saw it in, I don't know, Twitter or somewhere, was just because I remember mentioning this like a couple times way back in the day, but it's been a while. Like because when it first came up, when Bitcoin might have been a couple $100 or even like $30, and then all of a sudden a couple $100, it's like, oh, volatility, that's scary. That's when we used to talk about it. And at the time we would say stuff like, well, that's just the way it is. It's a growing technology and it'll level off eventually. And that's why I hooked onto this headline when I saw it, because I'm wondering if this is kind of the eventually that we've been looking for. Like, did we finally make it where Bitcoin is no longer this volatile mess? Or has it leveled off to some extent? Like, yeah, obviously we hope it'll trend upwards over time as much as possible, but has that trend leveled a little bit so that it is usable by everyday businesses for everyday purposes without having to worry about a crash tomorrow? Now, with that said, we did see a bit of a crash just in the past few days. Not a ton, but like 66 down to 6,200. I think because of this hearing, was the reason a lot of people were saying. But so yeah, there it is, guys. What do you think? Have we reached our eventually? Is this finally the leveling off point we've always talked about? Do we expect a ton more volatility? The headline itself is just that in 2018 we had record low volatility. Within the past few days we hit that record low. Any thoughts? I should say this story, for the record, was from October 5th. It's currently October 11th, and I'm sure this, like I said, this recent crash may have messed with this volatility index, but I'm still curious. In general, are we making good progress?
Nope, everything's gone. Everything falls apart now. Everybody follow Zach and send us all your money before everything shuts down. I mean, I don't like it's. I see too much of a pattern in a lot of things where there's probably not a pattern. There's just like similar things happening. But again, I feel like we've
That's
been
the
in a
definition of
situation.
a pattern, Tim. Similar things happening.
Shut the fuck up, Daniel. No, what I mean is I like to see patterns. Like there's patterns, but then you have to get into things of like, is something a coincidence or is it just something similar? Is it not just a kind of steady pattern that happens over and over again? But I think I remember it, like the price stabilizing for not as long, but it seems like as Bitcoin gets
Oh
bigger,
yeah,
these things just stretch out. It seems like
yeah,
the
yeah.
drop is longer, the shot to the moon is longer. So I don't know if this is like the moment we've talked about it. Well, I'll amend that. It is the moment we've talked about, but the moment we've talked about has probably also happened a couple times now,
Yeah.
where it's just we're kind of making a new moment in our heads now, where it's like, well, we're gonna eventually get to where it doesn't even change by a couple cents, and it's gonna be something more like that. If this is actually something unique and like this is a new age for Bitcoin, I wouldn't go that far. I'd say it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. I don't know why I said that. That's kind of a throwaway thing at the end. So I mean, besides that, yeah, I don't know. Did I give
Always a
anybody
good
else
time.
enough time?
It's always a good time to buy Bitcoin. I think we'll see. Like, I'm honestly a little bit more bearish still. I think we'll dump to like 3,000-4,000 by Christmas, so that we can buy it nice and cheap. Like I, so Daniel told me about Bitcoin when we were roommates for like 2 days, and I'm so mad that I didn't buy more Bitcoin when it was cheaper. Like I, I was like, sure, I'll buy like 2 Bitcoins or something. Like, fuck it, I don't need like these hundreds of dollars. But now it's like thousands of dollars, and I'm like, fuck, I wish
Good
I bought
times.
more Bitcoins. Yeah, it seems like forever ago, but it was like 3, 4. It was probably more than 3 years. 3 years ago, something. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, three. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much
and
exactly
it's
three.
insane because now we're like post $20,000 Bitcoin, and we're like, it's I don't know. It blows my mind. I can't think about it. I wish I bought more. It's always a good time to buy Bitcoin.
I think I'll pretty much agree with Tim that, like, yeah, it's definitely a leveling off point without question. We've already seen that. But yeah, I think the cycle will continue. I really do. I mean, not financial advice. I'm not an expert, but and as far as I'm concerned, absolutely see the exact same thing happening again because I've been here before. I was here when Bitcoin dropped from 1,200 to like 876, 500. And it's like, oh, okay, well, the price is lower, but it's leveled off some. This is cool. Like, it is what it is, and we're still hanging in there. And literally for like a year or two or three, I don't even remember, but not three, probably not three. But yeah, I was there, and I've said this a ton on the show. Like just we were there. We know we've been in these doldrums, like these slow level and nothing happening, and then it all of a sudden 20,000 hits you in the face. So I think again, not an expert, could be totally wrong, but I do just believe that the cycle will happen again. Multiple times, maybe even. I don't have any great, scientifically sound reasoning for why I think it'll happen again, except for, I mean, really all I have is the fact that we've seen it before, first of all, and then kind of the reasoning behind it would just be because I think Bitcoin has real value. I think it is scarce and useful, and therefore people will want it, and there won't be enough of it to go around, so the value has to go up. That's all I got. I know that's obviously all of that needs explanation for, well, why is it scarce? Why is it useful? Is it really scarce because you can make Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin blah blah whatever, however many kinds there are now? And that's all, those are all discussions worth having, and I could be wrong in a million places. But the simple answer is, as far as I can tell, I really do believe it's scarce, and I really do believe it's useful. So I think that the value is going to continue upwards, the same pattern that we've seen before. That's all I got.
This does feel like the bubble that like so I got in after that whole thing collapsed. Like when it was like in the bottom of the post Mount Gox bubble is like when I started buying. Excuse me, Jesus.
Shut up.
My first my first Bitcoin. Did this feels like that bubble to you?
Pretty similar. Yeah, I mean, like
That
I
was a
said,
long bear market.
yeah, exactly. I should look at a chart. I'm not going to try to do it while I'm talking, but yeah, I mean, it had to be at least 2 years. I believe 2.5. I don't know, but like I said, 1,200, and then it was like 800 for a while, and then it was like 700 for a while, and the crash. It might have crashed from like 12 to 8 super quick, and it's like, holy crap. After that, it was super gradual, and you barely even noticed it, which is, I think, is pretty much where we are now. Like, yeah, we're trending down a bit. We were at like 8,000 for a while, then 7,000 for a while, and now we're at like low 6,000s. I think we're in that super gradual downtrend. And there'll be ups and downs. Like we might, we're touched 8,000 again for a week or 2 or 3, and then we do go all the way back down to 5 or whatever. Like there may be a ton of crazy bumps for a bit, but I think in general we're on a gradual downtrend, just literally months long, years long. And like I said, I don't have a ton of scientific backing, but I just happen to believe that it is gonna spike again because it seems valuable and scarce to me. So that's my belief.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, none of this is financial advice, obviously. The only advice you should listen is when we tell you to give us your
Give us money.
Bitcoins. But but like, I mean, it's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin because the only thing you have, I mean, obviously, except for when it was like at 20,000, you're like, okay, maybe we're like going to crash soon. But like, all you have is the price today. It's
And speaking of all you have to lose is dollars. Like who wants those anyway? Like just screw them
exactly.
and get rid of them, and you're set. Nothing to worry about
Exactly.
if you get rid of them. The Dow,
Exactly.
speaking of dollar crashing, I'm pretty sure the Dow is, or the stock market, whatever, has been a little messy lately too. Not that, it's the same thing we say with Bitcoin. Like the Dow crashes like from 20, I don't even know what number the Dow is at, but say it's down from like 25,000 to 23,000. It's like, oh crap, there it goes, it's dead. It's like, well, no, no, that's not how it works. That's not what we say about Bitcoin either. So I'm not going to rip on the Dow, but I'll rip on the Dow a little bit. So
Yeah. Just like buy a little bit of Bitcoin. Probably a good thing to do in case it catches on, as Satoshi said.
yeah. Hey, so I am showing somewhat close to the end here. I can't read my computer when I'm this far away. Like I sit back in my chair and it's a 4K display, which means everything is like a fourth the size as it would normally be on a 1080 display. So I'm like looking at this little baby clock in the corner from like 3 feet away. I'm pretty sure it says 6:50, but I honestly can't tell. Tim's like over there, like so excited because he's always hated me for having perfect eyesight. So he's like, he
Oh
won't.
no, I poisoned every single one in your stupid perfect family, and now they're all going to go blind by the time they're
Probably.
30. Everybody under the age, the adults will be spared. The older ones will be spared to watch their children fall apart, and I will enjoy every minute.
I think it actually says
Yeah.
4:09. Is it 6:49 right now? Is that what yours guys
Yes.
says?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I got it. 9:49.
yeah. We
Where are
have
you?
actual real person time, not this
Screw
bullshit.
you. No, I have real time. You guys are like living in the future over there.
This is my time.
So
Radical.
anyway, we are coming slowly to the end of this show. And what obviously that means we have to do is advice of the week. So I'll tell you what, I had something, but I don't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down
Oh,
with this
sorry.
fancy pen I have in my hand. It was like 10 minutes ago, probably 15 minutes ago. I was making a bit of a rant about something, and I remember at the end thinking, this is going to be my advice. I don't know what it was though. So what did I rant about today? Freaking Taco Cat. It was after that.
Taco Cat.
Oh, volatility. I talked some about the old days when we said, "Oh, one day we won't be volatile anymore." But no, I don't. That wasn't my advice either. I think it was the very end of the first story. What was like the last topic we talked about from the hearing? Do you remember,
Mining.
Zach? Mining,
Or
centralization. There was something after that.
what did we talk about? Mining. Oh, scams.
Scams. I think
Bitcoin,
that was it.
Bitcoin being the least scammy of everything.
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that's kind of what I was going to go off of. Like it. No, maybe not. I don't know, but sure, let's go with it. But yeah, that'll be my advice because why not? I don't actually think that was what I was thinking, but it is now. Bitcoin is the least scammiest crypto out there. So isn't that a great advertisement? Like if you saw like actually Sprint kind of does do this because their slogan, at least for a while, I think it crashed and burned, but their slogan was good enough for me. I was like, what are you saying? So like it sucks, but like it works. Like their slogan was like, oh, no, it was works for me. That was their slogan. Oh, it works for me. It's not the best, but it works for me. I was like, who the frick wants that? It works for me, whatever. No, I want a good network, not something that works for me. So, but hey, that's what I'll say about Bitcoin. Bitcoin works for me, so hey, try it out. It's the least scammiest crypto out there. That's my advice. That's my advice of the week. Is Bitcoin works for me because it's the least scammiest crypto. Anyone else?
My advice is probably consider buying some Bitcoin now because like your 6,000 is my 200 or whatever it was, and I wish I bought more at 200. It's obviously easier to buy at 200 than 6,000, but you should buy at 6,000 if you want the maximum possible amount of Bitcoin that you can get to sell all your fiat. Because odds are, so I'm hopeful for like a 3,000 Bitcoin by Christmas. Maybe that won't happen. Bitcoin long term can only go up, which means it'll get more expensive and you can only buy less of it for the money that you have. So why not buy now? That's a question, not financial advice, because there's a question mark at the end. But consider it, I guess, and then send it to us. That's my advice. Buy Bitcoin.
Good advice. Good advice.
Buy all the Bitcoin.
Hey, I've got another one from the beginning that I remembered, which was my marketing advice. I'll just repeat that. You know, anytime something goes wrong, anytime something is different, anytime there's an accident or a tragic anything like a freaking deadly hurricane, great marketing. Just like crank that out. Throw, reunion show, that's what this is. Breakup show, that's what it was 2 weeks ago. Just milk that for all it's worth. Every little unique thing that ever happens, good or bad, all press is good press. Milk it for all it's worth. That's part 2 of my advice. Tim, anything?
We are not happy to have Daniel back. We are working as fast as we can to have him removed again. I'm sorry, people.
Why would this be a reunion show?
Don't even worry. What? It's a reunion show, but
Tim is trying to break us up again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Tim. We've already been over this.
Gosh, you always do this.
We're trying to have a reunion, and Tim is
fucking this up. What the fuck? I just want attention on me again, guys. I just want attention on me.
We're trying to be friends.
We're just trying to have fun with everybody.
We already agreed we could make this work. Why is it so complicated?
Why you not my friend? Why you not my friend?
Okay, stop it. Everybody stop.
Tim,
Everybody's
you
serious
stop.
again.
Oh my god.
No, I don't want to stop.
All right, we're not friends.
I'm not your friend first. I already said it. It counts retroactively.
did.
Whatever. Advice: don't. Right. Safe but high quality. Okay, Pat says the high quality alts are the way to go. I guess that's up to you, Pat, to decide which ones are the high quality ones. I guess
Wait,
that's everybody's
hold on.
question.
I can't forget this again. Tim, keep figuring out what you're going to say. I
You
remember
stupid
the
Pat.
actual advice that I was going to give. It was the part about learning by mining, like the idea of participating and like learning, even if you don't make a ton of money, learning how it works, making mistakes. We've done entire episodes on this show about how many times we failed at different projects, different investments. My advice will still be, regardless of those losses, I still believe they were incredibly valuable. You learn a lot. So, and a follow-up to that would be, give us all your money, because regardless of those losses, you will learn a lot. Maybe, question mark. All right, Tim, finish up.
I like that now Daniel's just taking my advice from every single. Just give us things. Then I actually on my show, which you should also look at on the whole thing, Tim's 2 cents. I actually did record an episode while Daniel was gone, where I felt like I got a little bit too depressy because I talked about just failing at everything and how I thought it at least helped. So I might eventually release that. I say release like everybody's like clamor, like give it to us, please. The people need this. It's like a Trump memo everybody wants. No, advice for this coming week: get on TV and look at people weird. We need to kind of push this. Like, if we want to have some control of Bitcoin politically, we need to make a strong standing right off the bat. No, besides that, I've felt. Now again, I'm losing my voice again. It seems like just keep going. This week, I've been feeling kind of not like depressed. I don't know. I think I've mentioned probably in my show. It's not like a depression. It's just I just want to sit here. Like if I wake up early, I just want to lay here. I don't want to get out of bed. I just want to just lay here and cuddle with myself more. But don't like. I am finding if I do force myself to do things, force myself to write more, force myself to record something, stuff does feel better after doing that, even if at first it doesn't seem like it's going to. If you can get into a rhythm of doing things, that's actually where this started. Was Daniel and his dumb wedding messing with my schedule. Zach had to fake a life-threatening injury to get out of it. I had to fly across fucking country. But no, keep doing what you're doing. If you're getting stuck someplace, if you feel like you're getting into a rut, maybe change how you're approaching something. But as long as you can keep momentum up, this goes along with what Daniel's saying about just learning from stuff. As long as you can keep yourself going, as long as you can keep momentum going, you should be learning something new each time you do it. If you're failing the same way over and over again, obviously change it. But as long as you keep trying, you'll eventually find something better, because you'll go through every single wrong avenue to that. And
there you
just
have
remember, Tim's here for all of your support needs. Don't even worry. Tim After Dark, he's here.
Tim's here for you.
Tim After Dark. Whew.
Hello.
Tim can love you.
Ooh, got the willies.
For real.
Tim can love you.
All right. Well, there you heard it straight from the mouth horse. And hey, did you, Tim, speaking of your show, what?
The mouth horse.
Okay, terrible. Whatever Tim says.
What do you mean terrible? Shut you. What? What do you have to say? Continue.
I was not going to shed any light on that, and you're just like, mouth horse, terrible, ha. I was just going to move on from that.
Yeah, but, of course you were. You don't acknowledge your own mistake. Continue.
Tim, did did you send me any episodes?
No.
In the past? Okay, got it.
No.
Just making sure I didn't miss them. I do believe I have one from before I left that has yet to go out. And then maybe this secret lost hidden episode that Tim may or may not release. We'll find out after dark.
It's going to be this
But
the big thing.
yeah. Anyway, that's one last piece of advice as we close out. Keep an eye on all our shows. I will be, like I said, I'll be grabbing Tim's YouTube shows, making them look as good as I possibly can with like some kind of show notes, like even just like a couple sentences, like, hey, Tim ran this solo. I have no idea what it's about. Good luck if you're really going to listen to it. And I will get those onto our website, into our podcast feed, everywhere they need to be. If you're really interested, and if you really hate watching Tim on YouTube, you can find him other ways.
Tim and I did a decent job on the show. We rambled a little bit. We talked shit on Daniel some, but we had good episodes.
Well, maybe I'll just delete it then. I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
No one will have fun without me.
I love all of you who are listening. I don't love my co-hosts. They're horrible people. But all you listeners, keep on listening, and we'll keep on loving you. It is conditional love. Like, you have to keep listening for us to keep loving you. That's how it works in showbiz. I'm sorry. But anyway, seriously, come back next week every Thursday, 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Even when I'm across the globe with no cell phone, it still gets out onto the air somehow, apparently. And that's how much we love you. So peace out, everyone. Come back next Thursday. Bye.
Good night. Love.